Welcome to the Ref Show. Almost no time to introduce it because we've got that much to get through this week. We've not seen a Premier League manager being sent off in a while to discuss the rights and wrongs of that. That happened to Mark Hughes. We've got the Manchester derby to come. We'll talk about Arsenal's winning goal. And we've got some championship incident which will provoke comment, I'm sure, from Messrs Hackett and Lawrenson are on the show this week. First, the 2-2 draw between Chelsea and Swansea. Andre Mariner, the referee, fresh or maybe not fresh, from the Aguero affair that preceded it in his case. Swansea's second goal, obviously a clear foul in the build-up there, Keith. Shouldn't have been allowed.
No, I mean, at the end of the day, he's allowed play to continue, and the outcome is a goal, which is, you don't want an error and a goal created. I watched this game, and I think that the inconsistency of Andre might be a lack of confidence from the previous week, because no doubt he'll have been hounded for missing the Aguero elbow. But also, I think, from a fitness point of view, I genuinely think that when it moves towards the end of the game, he's struggling, he's fatiguing, and as a result, the clarity of his decisions get muddled. And for me, there's something not quite right.
I think that's the point. I mean, if he's making a long distance decision, you're always, is it or isn't it? Isn't it? I mean, if you miss the Aguero thing, you missed it. You missed it. And there's nothing you can do. You go, sorry, missed it. Yeah. And nobody goes, oh, that's ridiculous. Just, you missed it. But the foul on Cahill, I'm not quite sure he wasn't that close to it, was he? And it's kind of, not sure.
Leroy Fer gets the goal. And the reaction from Gary Cahill, memorable quote, you could see it from the moon. It was, and among other very angry comments.
But that's just born out of sheer frustration, isn't it? But I think it was a foul, but he got caught a bit as well. And I'm sure Mr. Conte would have had or Signor Conte would have had a little word with him in that situation.
Okay, so I finished a very entertaining 2-2 draw. There were some great games over the weekend. I must say I noticed that John Terry had posted a picture on Instagram, I should say, of him being, that's how well up I am on the technology these days, of him being held, arms wrapped around him from Geordie Matt, as if to say, well, this wasn't spotted, it was a Chelsea corner. Are we talking about pots and kettles here?
Just a bit.
Yeah. What, Keith?
Absolutely. I mean, there's no question that Chelsea were serial offenders over a long period in relation to blocking at corner kicks. I think they brought it in through Mourinho, and I think generally it's still allowed to carry on. Yeah. It's only when you get someone like Mike Dean or Robert Madley this week, he was the guy up front that decided in the closing seconds to fine one.
We'll come to that. That was the Arsenal.
By the way, he did fine one as well.
It was.
Yeah. We'll
but I hope John Terry's got I hope he posted it with a sense of humour, because if not, it's like, oh my God, what's that all about?
Yeah, okay. He's not going to get a lot of sympathy and support.
He won't get sympathy in his own house.
Right, Mark Clattenburg, man in the middle, excellent performance for the most part. I think everybody agrees. RefCam certainly extolled his performance, apart from that one incident, and it was so crucial. The Manchester derby, City winning by 2-1 at Old Trafford. Frantic, exciting game, lots of big calls. Now then, Claudio Bravo incident where he miscontrols it and then has to go into a lunging challenge on Wayne Rooney. First of all, Mark, we know Keith's view, your view. Penalty?
Yeah.
Right?
All day long.
Absolutely.
All day. It's a foul anywhere on the pitch, which I think Mourinho put. I think his feet are off the floor, are they not, as well, when he lunges in. It's a pen and it's a red.
It's a red for you. Right,
yeah.
Okay, Keith, to you.
I think given Clattenburg's position, again, you've got to be 100% certain. And I think there's a lack of certainty about it. You know, when you look at a video replay, you look twice, then you go red. Yeah.
Was the linesman not on that side, though?
Well, he was, and I think the linesman could have helped him. I think it's a big issue.
Simon Bennett,
yeah, well, I think there's an issue surrounding assistant referees and referees. I brought in the communication system on the basis that they helped each other. Yeah, I think that they must be listening to the Archers or something else.
Good call,
big story.
Yeah.
Big story.
Yeah, that's been in the headlines as well. I won't get you to adjudicate on that. But for you, I mean, you've been saying yellow, bordering red.
I think it was definite yellow and bordering red.
Okay, it was a
Is that amber? Is that amber then?
Yeah.
An amber card.
Yeah.
It was a hell of a big call, and it obviously could have had a major influence on the game. But
yeah, but I just think the other thing about that is with Mourinho is he deflects everything, doesn't he? He didn't. I haven't seen at any point where he said, "By the way, I got my tactics wrong. We should have had a penalty." And then the moaning about another incident as well.
Yeah, I mean,
with Otamendi when it hit the back of his arm. Behave yourself.
I mean, he got his back to the back of the arm. It's not deliberate.
No.
A point that Rob Harris picked up on RefCrack, Cam, he questioned whether there should have been a doubling up on Wayne Rooney's yellow card. He got one late on. What do you think, Lawrence?
Yeah, but he had loads. He had loads of challenges. I think Fellaini was a little bit fortunate as well, and I think anybody other than Clattenburg might have given him another yellow. Wayne Rooney, definitely.
Lucky to stay on the field,
I think so.
Okay. Big match involving Mike Dean, of course, selected as fourth official. You've got actually taken out off the roster one of your best men in the middle there, Mike Dean, to patrol the technical area for this game. With Jose Mourinho and Pep Guardiola, the factor. Good call for you to have Dean.
I think it was a good call to have him there, but to not have him then running out in the middle the following day or day before, I think is an error. I'd want Mike Dean out every week because at the moment he's the one that's consistent and you know what you're getting. And with some of the others, they're a bit me too. They're wishy-washy, and I think they're all doing their own thing. They're all down to lack of leadership, direction, and therefore, as a result, what they're doing is they've now got into this mode. I'll let that foul go. I'll let that one go. I'll let that one go. Right. And therefore, players, when they see that or react to that, will think I can get away with it, or
naturally.
What's the referee's doing?
Naturally.
Yeah.
What about you, Mark, for the selection of Mike Dean? Was that necessary to have a really strong official there in the technical area or not?
Yes and no. I think there's one thing about Guardiola. He's not manic on the touchline insofar as going mad about decisions. He's more, if you watch him, it's all about his players. He's manic with his players and his arms are going and everything. Jose is just full of mischief, isn't he? But the fact that he didn't referee at all over the weekend is madness. Yeah, if he's one of your best referees, why is he not refereeing?
Yeah, you need him out.
Of course.
Yeah. Well, the crackdown on dissent that we've talked about on this show applies just as much to the technical area as it does to on the field. And we had an example of that with Mark Hughes, the Stoke manager, being dismissed from the touchline. This was in their 4-0 home defeat to Spurs. Anthony Taylor was the man in the middle there. And actually, I think you've first of all got some sympathy for Mark Hughes because there was a foul, wasn't there?
Look, the guy's got a job to do. Yeah. His team's not playing well. They're in a difficult position. Let's have a bit of humanity here. Now his player's been fouled. Yeah. And in the same instant, one of his players has dived. Yeah. So what he decides to do is ignore that foul and caution this player, the Stoke City player, for simulation. It's an error. As a result, there's a bit of heat comes into it. There's frustration. And you suddenly go, just a minute, either stay away and let the fourth official do his job and calm it down and do what he gets paid for. Or if you're going to go across and get involved, then let's have a warning system. Let's say, look.
Well, no, but it's also, I think Keith's absolutely right, but it's a culmination. I think first game of the season they lost Stoke at Everton, and I think Everton got a penalty. Yeah. That's the one. Then he had the Shawcross at home against City. So his top's been ready to come off. Yeah. In fairness, and actually in his interview after the game, he was really good because he went, "We didn't lose because I got sent off." He said that's a separate issue. We weren't very, very good. So. And
he apologised for being sent off and said he was in the wrong, which was a very big comment.
He does blow his top on a regular basis. But I think the thing with Mark Hughes, he can forget it within 2 seconds. It's gone.
Yeah. Okay.
So. And that's why I think if you know the person,
absolutely.
Then a quiet word, and he would have responded to it. He's done it in the past. And I don't think that we need to make the headlines on the manager being sent to the stand.
Okay, could have been heavy-handed there. Thank you very much, chaps. That's part one. There's loads to come. A very interesting and unusual talking point, actually, surrounding Jamie Vardy's goal, just a consolation goal as it turned out, at Mark's former club, Liverpool, and the controversy over Arsenal's late penalty winner, and a shocker of a challenge that only got a yellow card. I saw this one at Leeds. Join us for that. See you then. Late in the second half, you ask a player with blood on his shirt to leave the pitch and change it. As play continues, he grabs a new shirt and races back on, but in his haste has it inside out, obscuring his name and number. Do you stop play